Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're unpacking the foundational concepts from the incredible Unleash Your Mind material. We often find ourselves caught in this metaphorical storm of motion. Just think of the daily grind like a stormy ocean. Massive waves are crashing violently. The water is constantly churning, and it's dragging you in 100 different directions without any specific destination. You wake up, boom, immediately check your emails, rush to work, and suddenly you're caught in this riptide of endless obligations. The source material hits on something absolutely crucial here. This isn't just being busy, it's a complete lack of intentional direction. We're just drifting, totally at the mercy of the elements. But today is all about stopping that drift and finally taking back control of the ship. Okay, let's dive into this. Let's talk about the one resource you can literally never get back: time. And it is moving fast. Picture a vintage clock, just relentlessly ticking away our most finite moments. Fun fact, research actually shows that as we age, our brains process fewer visual frames per second. So to put that into perspective, time literally feels like it's speeding up the older we get. It doesn't pause when you're tired, it doesn't hesitate when you're confused, and it absolutely does not wait until you feel ready. Unleash Your Mind asks us to confront this harsh reality head-on, because realizing the sheer scarcity of time is the very first step to actually harnessing it. Imagine a fast drone shot flying over a massive, sprawling city at night. Millions of glowing streetlights, millions of intersecting lives. The material reveals something super profound here. Every single second and every one of those lives represents a series of active choices. You are constantly deciding. We kind of trick ourselves, don't we? We think that indecision, or just deciding to sit back and do absolutely nothing, is like hitting a pause button. It's not. It is an active choice that directly shapes your future trajectory. The default setting of an action, well, it's still a setting. Which leads right into this sharp sun glitch in your daily routine. Are you awake? Really think about it. Are you actively building your own dream, or are you just sort of sleepwalking through your days, watching someone else build theirs? It's a harsh, provocative question for sure, but Unleash Your Mind intends it to be exactly that. It's a psychological wake-up call designed to completely shake you out of the passenger seat of your own life. Now, what's really interesting about this contrast is that we live in a world absolutely packed with the noise. The cold glow of endless scrolling social media feeds, the cheap dopamine hits from flashing notifications, just meaningless distractions. And it's all explicitly designed to keep us totally passive. Think about sitting alone in a dark room just staring at a phone screen. But deep down, beneath all that static, you hold the truth. When you slam the laptop shut, put away the phone, and just sit in silence, there is this unshakable, deep, internal knowledge that you are meant for something much, much bigger. The material asks us to deeply examine why we keep turning the noise back on just to drown out that truth. So, how do we actually reach that bigger purpose? Let's smash a stubborn societal myth right now. Genius isn't born. We've got this deep-seated misconception that greatness is just some magical, innate gift bestowed upon a lucky few at birth. And why do we believe this? Well, because it's a remarkably convenient excuse. If genius is just winning the genetic lottery, then hey, we don't have to feel bad about not putting in the work, right? But the text completely shatters this illusion. Picture a runner just exploding out of the starting blocks in slow motion. That incredible latent energy, it isn't magic. It is thousands of unseen hours of grueling effort. Actually, scratch that excuse. The reality is that genius is built. It's forged through relentless intent and action. Picture a high-speed train building unstoppable momentum, or a hand just slamming a heavy leather notebook open. The entire difference between who you are right now and who you deeply want to be tomorrow is defined strictly by what you do right this very second. Unleash Your Mind frames genius essentially as an architectural project. You don't just sit around and hope a skyscraper magically appears, right? No way. You lay the foundation, brick by brick, even when the process is tedious and exhausting. Let's move to and see how this builds, because creating your genius requires a very specific, actionable blueprint. Step 1. Greatness starts when comfort ends. Think of a mountain sunrise. Psychologically speaking, our comfort zones are where our dreams go to atrophy. True growth only happens under the stress of adaptation. Step 2. Work while others sleep. Picture a lone desk lamp burning in the dead of night. This isn't just about losing sleep. It's about aggressively claiming those quiet hours where the world's noise is finally dialed down to zero. And step 3, execute while others talk. Imagine a boxer relentlessly hitting a heady bag. Talk is just a cheap dopamine release that tricks your brain into feeling like it actually accomplished something. Real execution, it's quiet, it's deliberate, and it is relentless. And the absolute best part, you already possess the ultimate tool to do all of this.
Your mind is literally the most powerful machine on Earth. Imagine your brain lighting up with these neon electric sparks. That is the raw, crackling, infinite energy you possess. We are constantly looking outward, searching for external software, new apps, or trendy life hacks to boost our productivity, completely ignoring the extraordinary supercomputer sitting right inside our own heads. It is entirely capable of solving the world's most complex problems if we just untether it and let it run.
But here is the catch. A machine, no matter how unbelievably powerful it is completely useless without a blueprint. Contrast that electric brain with a massive ocean wave crashing hard against giant rocks. It's an incredible display of raw power, sure, but it's totally chaotic. It just disperses into nothing. Power without direction is just noise. We misdirect our mental energy all the time, spending hours overanalyzing one single email or doom scrolling. It's literally like running a Ferrari engine while you're parked in the garage. You need a structured, deliberate plan to channel all that mental energy.
So the crucial point here is understanding the huge difference between ideas and execution. Picture hands furiously typing away on a glowing mechanical keyboard. Ideas are cheap, and they are incredibly abundant. Everyone has a million ideas. You've probably had a billion-dollar app idea while in the shower, only to see someone else actually launch it 2 years later. Why did they succeed? Because execution is absolutely everything that matters in the real world. Putting your fingers to the keys, putting boots to the ground. The world doesn't reward the person who simply had the idea. It rewards the person who endured the friction of actually making it real. We constantly hear the old cliche, right? Knowledge is power. But Unleash Your Mind reframes this entirely. Knowledge is only power when it is activated with absolute clarity. Imagine a young professional smiling out of a high-rise office window. Sitting on a giant pile of unread self-help books doesn't make you powerful, it just makes you a librarian of your own potential. You, the focused learner watching this explainer, you already have the ideas. You already have that passion burning inside you. The knowledge is sitting right there, just waiting to be fully deployed and activated into the world. So what is exactly stopping you? Take a second, really let that question sit with you. If you have the passion, you have the incredibly powerful mind, and you have the ideas, why aren't you out there executing right now? Why is the execution part so difficult? Well, there's a core obstacle blocking the path to greatness, and spoiler alert, it usually isn't a lack of motivation. It's something far more insidious. The answer is data. We simply have way too much of it. From the exact moment we wake up, we're facing this unrelenting, chaotic influx of information. Imagine a fast montage of old books opening, gears turning, light bulbs glowing. In fact, modern research suggests the average person today processes the equivalent of about 34 gigabytes of data every single day. That's enough to fill a massive hard drive daily. Our brains are essentially trying to drink from a digital fire hose. We spend all of our time and mental bandwidth blindly consuming, leaving absolutely zero bandwidth left for creating or building. And the terrible result of all that incoming data? A total lack of clarity. Picture someone rubbing their temples, just completely stressed out. You genuinely want to study, you want to build a business, you want to grow and evolve. But instead of moving forward, you're totally trapped by information paralysis. You find yourself endlessly sorting through facts, conflicting figures, and expert opinions online when all you really need is a clear, simple path forward. The more we learn without executing, the more confused and hesitant we ultimately become. And this brilliantly illustrates the core problem. Information was originally supposed to empower us, but instead, it's become the ultimate barrier. Picture a massive, heavy stack of textbooks just crashing down onto a study desk. The overwhelming weight of all that data, combined with a total lack of an execution blueprint, just feels like a mountain too high to climb. It creates this highly deceptive false sense of productivity. We feel like we're doing the hard work by gathering information and researching, right? But in reality, that massive mountain of data is the very thing burying our execution. Which leaves us with one final, undeniable choice. Will you execute, or will you let the mountain of information bury you? The storm is out there churning. The clock is relentlessly ticking away your seconds. And the choice is entirely yours. Are you going to keep endlessly consuming data, searching for just one more video or one more article to make you feel ready? Or are you going to finally use that incredibly powerful machine in your head to build your genius? Thank you for joining me for this explainer. Now, shut off the noise and execute.